Hi everyone, another month has gone by and so it's time to look at all the Britpop and 90s indie news I have found for the last month of September. So, here we go. First of all, the Radleys have released a digital 4-track EP and it's called A Full Syringe and Memories of You. And this follows on from the release of a song of the same name from the month before. And it's just 4 songs. They're okay. They're not pushing any Boo Radley's boundaries or anything. And they're alright. There's 4 songs. What does get my back up a little bit is that, well, don't get my back up, but they're digital, and you know that's the modern music era when everything's digital and streaming and platforming. But they could have released it on they could have made a simple 4-track CD, just made it out there for, I don't know, I'd have probably bought it, you know, just putting it out there. It seems like it's lazy. It's getting lazy, and the Boo Radleys, they've been around for 30 years, plus years, you know, but yeah, they could have just put that out there, putting it, just simply sticking it on Spotify and whatever else, Deezer. Yeah, it don't sit with me, and I'm not a big fan of that. It's not, like I said, if they're trying to get themselves some more attention, it's not the way forward. They've not really done anything about much else about it. But that's the Boo Radleys, that's what's happening. So, yeah. Following up from that, up next, this is some good news. If you're the Divine Comedy fan, you're in luck because they are releasing a best of collection, which will be on vinyl and CD, and that's a entire history back catalogue collection of all, I'm guessing what the Divine Comedy classes their best songs, and there's also going to be a tour to coincide with the release of that. It looks really good. I'm going to try and pick up a copy. Three CDs I think it is, and there's a couple of there's 4 or 5 different packages out, CD packages, vinyl packages, and there's also t-shirts and mugs. Now I've been on the website and I've got another little moan here. It's going to be a moany month. The packages are not bundled together. You can't buy, unless I've seen it wrong, and unless they've changed it, it's by the CD, it's by the mug, by the vinyl, by everything separate. You can't buy you can't buy everything. Now, I'm not going to go and buy everything. I will just probably get the CD. I'd like a t-shirt and a mug, but I'm not going to rush out and buy one. So, yeah, they're proper money grabbing on that instead of making a big bundle there, going to put it all together. So, like I said, Divine Comedy fans, that's great news. I mean, they had an album out not so long ago, maybe last year before. I don't have that last album, but a good band and a great indie Britpop. Definitely on the arty side of Britpop from the 90s. So, Divine Comedy fans, get on that. Definitely let me know if you're thinking of going and seeing that tour down below in the comments. I'd love to have a chat about it. What are your thoughts on the Divine Comedy? I've never really discussed them on the channel before, so yeah, it'd be interesting to have a chat about that. Now, also recently, now moving on, now at the cinemas recently, there was an Oasis film out. It was a couple of hours long, and it's a film/documentary about their shows at Nebworth, the 2 sellout shows at Nebworth. Now, I like Oasis. I'm not the biggest fan in the world. I'm a bigger fan of different bands in the 90s. But with that Nebworth film coming out in the cinemas, it's brought every Oasis fan out of the woodwork and throughout the country and the world. And now, Oasis are always on people's minds, they're always in the news. But, you know, when something new comes out, it gets everyone going up. Well, now there's also a book out. And there's a book out that's coinciding with it. It's called Supersonic, the complete authorised and uncut interviews. And from what I've read of reviews and what people have posted online, it's got some unreleased pictures. It's got loads of unreleased reviews, interviews and things from people at the time. Noel and things like that. So, like I said, it looks interesting, but I'm not going to be rushing out and getting it. That's just my opinion. I've had a look at it, and some people have shown me a couple of pages. I have a book list myself that have books to do with the music I'm interested in, that Britpop and 90s indie, and I'm afraid this Oasis book is not making that shortcut right now. Shortlist right now. It might jump on it in the future when I get cross some of my others off and add those books to it. But yeah, any Oasis fan should definitely pick it up and give it a read. There's going to be a link to it below in the comments. There always is. So yeah, in the description, sorry. So yeah, Oasis fans, get on that. Get that book. It looks interesting, like I said, and you should definitely pick it up. It has got good reviews online, so yeah, don't think it hasn't. Right, up next. Well, actually, I'll save this next bit. I'm not going out and buying the Oasis book, but I am definitely adding this book to my list, and it is for all Shoegaze fans out there, and it's by the company Uncut Magazine. They have released a new magazine called The Complete Guide to Shoegaze. Now, this is more of a magazine booklet. You can order it in that. Now, I'm definitely adding this to my book list. I would love to have this. It looks like a great read. And it is basically a complete guide. There's a picture of the front cover on the screen now. It's a complete guide to Shoegaze. And if you are interested in 90s indie or 90s British music at all, it is definitely worth picking up. It'll give you, I'm hoping I'm going to get a copy. It's going to give you a great insight to that. I can't find the words. Early 90s, that's early 90s indie scene of what was happening at the time. Lots of shoegaze and other things going on. So yeah, definitely worth picking up. I'm adding it to my book list. Boys, it is a bit on the pricey side at £10. I'm not saying I'm cheap in any way. There are things that I will spend money on, but not. I'm going to hold out and see if I can pick it up off eBay just a little bit cheaper a couple of months down the line, maybe even after Christmas. I'm hoping I'll be able to get a bit cheaper. So yeah, that's what's happening there. So now, who remembers the band Audioweb? Well, if you do, they have got a new single out and it's called King. It's on Spotify and everything. Now I've had a listen to it. I've listened to it a couple of times, and to me, it feels like a slow ska song. Now I'm a Britpop and is my main love. I love Britpop, but after that, it would be ska. And this Audioweb song has a nice ska feel to it. I've listened to it a lot, and I've spoke to the guys on Instagram, and they were like, "Yeah, we can see where that's coming from." I think you should definitely go give it a listen if you're an Audioweb fan, if you've missed it. But yeah, Audioweb have got a new song out called King, and I think it's definitely worth checking out. There's a link to that in the description. Go and have a listen. Right, I've got a couple of things left, so moving on from that. Now, big news here, if you're Bernard Butler fans or Sweated fans or just fans of Bernard Butler in general, he's reissuing his debut solo album through Demon Records. Coming again, the Demon Music Group, pushing out something new. Like I said, he's re-releasing his debut solo album on vinyl and CD. It's going to be out next year, and it looks good. There's a picture of it on screen now, and as usual, it looks like it's got all the bells and whistles on it. It's got B-sides, and I think it might have a couple of live tracks, and there's a booklet with it. So yeah, that's not going to be out for Christmas unless I've misread something. I'm sure I haven't, but it's definitely going to be out early next year, before Record Store Day. I don't think they're going to hold off for Record Store Day. That's a long time because they've advertised it. But if anything else comes up before then, yeah, I will let you know. I will put it, might even be next month if any further news comes out. So yeah, that's Bernard Butler. He's already had a record stay release out earlier this year. So yeah, he's got a couple of things out at the minute. He's ramping up his old music, bringing that out, which is good. That Bernard Butler, the album People Move On, it's a great album. I've got it here on the shelf and I love it. Yeah, Not Alone is probably my favourite Bernard Butler song. Let me know in the comments below if you have a favourite Bernard Butler song. I'd love to hear about that. Now up next is one of my favourite bands, probably one of my favourite albums of 1995, but Swedish band the Wannadies are releasing a B-sides compilation album. Now, I'm hoping it's going to be out next year. I'm very excited for it. I can't wait to get this. I'd love to give it a play. I'm a big fan of the Wannadies, and especially Swedish guitar music in the 90s. There's some great bands out there. The Wannadies, Cardigans, probably another big band. So there's Super Sub. I like Super Sub a lot. If you haven't heard of Super Sub, you should go on Spotify and check them out. I'm rambling on here, but Wannadies, get back on them. There's no release date for this B-Sides compilation yet, but it's going to be on vinyl. It's going to be on CD. So yeah, I'm excited for that. As always, please subscribe to the channel and share my channel with all your friends. It'd be great to get some comments below and find out people's thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.